Gone Fishing with Captain Mac Farr presents Fish Tales. In the 1980s, the South Carolina Wildlife and Marine Resources Department developed the hybrid bass by crossing the striped bass and the white bass. This was done to create a fish that would survive better when stocked at a smaller size. Well, it worked, and now states all over the Southeast have strong hybrid stocking programs. The hybrid bass is a fierce fighting game fish, and it has a much higher tolerance to warm water conditions than one of its parents, the striper. I'm sure the white bass and the striper would be proud of this great game fish offspring. This has been Bits and Bites from the files of Fish Tales.
Howard, do you see that time of day makes a difference how these fish bite? Is it better morning, afternoon?
I actually prefer after the sun's been on the water an hour, so I seem to pick up. Back, there's a fish on that back rod, buddy. Back rod.
Yep, I got him. Oh,
there you go.
Good eye, Howard.
Go.
Yep. It's caught a glimpse of him. Looks like a small hybrid. Yep, West Point hybrid. Now Howard, there's some hybrids in the lake. You'll see one occasionally be what, 7, 8 pounds?
They'll even go 10 or 12 pounds on occasions.
Well, that'd be a heck of a fish on the tackle. We're using pretty light tackle, so we'll let him go and grow. There he goes. Excellent. And that one hit one of the smaller roundhead jigs with a chartreuse trailer. And you really monitor color, right, Howard? I mean, you watch. When you usually start the day, do you start out with 4 or 5 different color jigs to try and get a feel what they're going to respond to best?
I always try at least 3 or 4 different setups. A different jig color with a different trailer. Sometimes you might even tip it with a live crappie minnow. But you want to try until you see some kind of series or pattern, and you'll see something develop. It may take hours to develop, it may happen that morning. But you definitely want to give them all the opportunities with different choices to find out what works best. So maybe just
get him, Howard, get him.
All right, there he is.
Oh, he's pulling good. Hold this rod up here so it doesn't foul.
Another West Point hybrid.
Tell you what, Howard, I'm gonna go ahead and clear this one. That actually might be a little bit bigger fish.
You gotta be careful, and I believe we have got this one in a treetop.
Here, let me get this other line, I'll give you a hand.
Yep, he's in a treetop.
Well, and that looked like a pretty nice fish.
Yeah, it probably was.
It's pretty common when you get those big fish, and our baits are 60, 80 feet down. That's gonna happen to you once or twice a day, probably on average.
At least once or twice. You can actually sometimes feel the treetops between you and the bait. But if you'll take that rod, which I tried to do and didn't work, if you'll take that rod straight up in the air and apply pressure, you can generally get that fish to raise 3 foot. If he's right in the tops, if he's up 3 foot, you're gonna get him to the boat. But you gotta do it quick. And I evidently wasn't quick enough.
Because this tackle's not heavy enough. These are nice fish. There's some big hybrids, and they're just too strong.
They'll take you down. If they're near the treetop, they'll get in it unless you raise them quick.
So you gotta be mindful of that, and of course watch your sonar and look for the trees. So, oh well, fish won that round.
Yep.
That's all right, we got another jig, don't we, Howard?
We got plenty.
Oh, Howard, we got one back here.
Fish on.
Yeah, there he is. He's swimming at me. We got him though. All right.
Matt, you need my help back there, buddy?
I think I got him, Howard, if you'll just keep us going.
I'll do it, because one
thing you got to watch for. Now, we're fishing over some treetops. Oh, most of them are somewhere between 12 and 20 feet. If you stop the boat, of course, your jigs sink like a rock. Instead of hanging up on fish, you'll hang up on timber. Well, he is really pulling. There he is. Another hybrid. Look at him, just, well, they turn that body so broad, they turn it sideways. Man, grab in. Well, we're getting close anyway. There we go. Pretty fish. See what I was talking about, how broad their bodies are, and big broad tail, they're really capable. They turn sideways and that big tail moves a lot of water. Tough fish.